Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Fuzzy on the Details presents Blood Hunt, Fear of the Dark. And we are on our second game at rank 3. So this is the first time we'll have a little bump, little extra power going around for our crew using the getting schooled rules from the X-Men expansion set. So let's go around the horn and hear how everyone improved themselves since the last time we met with the party, which was back in the Curio, the Bloodstone Curio, where we had a little battle with some inner demons that became outer demons as Connor experienced out of the blue the full moon reappearing in the night sky, which we haven't really figured out how or why that happened. Have no real clue on that, but in an effort to kind of gain some control over this situation, Dr. Voodoo and his twin brother living inside of him, Daniel, kind of came in and managed to separate the spirit basically of this raging werewolf. There was something going on there. There was some talk about a Darkhold influence. For those who don't know, in the comics, I think the very first appearance of the Darkhold was in Werewolf by Night, issue 1 or 2, and it was to explain the existence of werewolves. So this goes way back in Marvel lore, and it is rearing its ugly, demonic, wolfy head right now. So we need to resolve that. But in the meantime, the party has also been working with some of the leaders of the community and trying to figure out where they can next do the most good. We have a number of locations, boroughs or neighborhoods within Boston that really could use the attention of the player characters. And we have decided to go take a look at the Back Bay area of Boston, where the Boston Public Library is, and see if we can explore there. Given that we have a librarian on temporary loan from the Strange Academy, that seems like a pretty good place to visit. So that's the plan for today. But first, let's hear how people rank themselves up. Let's start with Fish.
Yeah. Cullen is going to take the trait Combat Reflexes, so he'll have an extra reaction every round.
Very cool. That is a solid choice for any character for sure. Jen, what is a Spitfire? What has she chosen?
All right, so been eyeing this one up for a while. Speed Blast, where the character fans their arms fast enough to blast a target with a gust of air. And it's going to cost me 5 focus. It's a ranged attack, and if it succeeds, the target is stunned, and on a fantastic success, they will be knocked prone.
Awesome. Vann, let's after a very interesting day for Connor, how did he learn and grow from this experience?
Well, I think it really comes down to exactly it's just now Connor, because he no longer has either one of the wolves inside of him. They're both being otherwise occupied by Brother Voodoo's brother, and that has awoken a little bit more of a psychic or spiritual awareness of his condition, and that's resulted in him having a point up on his ego score. So nothing radical in terms of power set or anything less like that, but like this opened his eyes. It opened his eyes, and he understands his circumstances a little bit better, and that's resulted in a higher ego score.
No, and I mean, I love that. I mean, I think that's I think there's a couple ways you could use the getting schooled rules, and you could look at this and say, well, I'm going to take the most powerful rank 4 power that I can get. But I think it's just so much more fulfilling to find the thing that really makes sense for you in a given adventure and choose that thing. Like that just seems the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's appropriate for what happened. He got his mind blown, and so his mind is now broader than it was previously.
Right. Yep. So we'll be playing. You won't have the werewolf origin. You'll just be playing essentially just a regular old human.
Yep, just a schmuck.
All right. Speaking of schmucks, what does a Rose Pastor have in store for him?
Hmm. Alder took Counter-Strike Technique,
Mhm.
which is another power in the martial arts power set. This one, when in attack stance, Alder can use a reaction to deal half of the attacker's regular damage back to them, which is part of the route to get to regain focus. But I still think functionally for someone that's starting to take martial arts power set and has zero melee is effective because it doesn't require any melee.
Right. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So let's take a look at this map that we saw last game. This shows us all the neighborhoods in Boston, at least near us, that we've heard some rumors about. And we're going to be heading to Back Bay. Now, it's a neighboring neighborhood from where we are right now, which is in central Boston. So theoretically, this could be walking distance. But if you guys wanted to take a vehicle, we can probably get our hands on one if you wanted. So what would you, how would you figure on getting there?
I am still a viable mechanic. So
So you want to try and like maybe scavenge for a vehicle of some kind?
Don't we have
Yeah.
some scavenged vehicles?
Yeah. Well, just to make it fun, let's roll 1d6, Van. And I have a little chart here.
I'm a bad gamer in the fact that I don't actually have any physical dice on me. I've only got demi-plane. So
Okay, yeah, roll demiplane and tell me what the Marvel result is of any 3d6 roll.
Okay. So I just rolled that and it is a 4. Thank you.
Okay, cool. 4 is a pickup truck. So
Okay.
actually pretty good. We can say it's got a cab, so it could easily, extended cab, let's say, so it could easily fit the 5 of you, including Zelma, should you wish to bring her. And it's got some room in the back for some storage and whatnot.
Cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to bring Zelma. We know we're going to a library and we don't know what we'll find there, but there will or should at least be books and it's a method for research. So she should be very useful in this scenario.
Okay. Now, Van, and for all those listening, we talked about this last game, but we are using the headquarter rules, the homebrewed headquarter rules. So since we have a vehicle, if you'd like, you can take a little time before we head out to soup it up one way or the other.
Absolutely. Let's walk through that. How can we go ahead and do that?
Okay. I'm going to bring this over to the screen over here.
What are my options to soup it?
You're a gearhead, right?
I'm a gearhead and I've also got military. So gearhead, military pilot. Fuzzy will bring those rules up.
Yep. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So the room here is the garage. So make a target number 15 logic check.
Target number 15, logic check, and roll. 4, 5, 2, that is a 13.
Okay. So unfortunately,
Can anybody like use a reaction to potentially
Are we able
buff
to
that, or
help?
is it
I'm gonna say unless they've got like either an engineering background or a piloting trait, then no.
okay? It's fair.
Okay. All right. But at the very least, this is your first
I'm
time
still
working on the
I'm still
vehicle.
shaking.
Yeah. You get, you're still getting used to the vehicle. So maybe it'll be a little easier for you in the future. And we actually have this option as well, which is the military garage, which we have at our headquarters that we talked about, which is same thing, difficult logic check. If you wanted, I think the pickup is a vehicle that you could definitely mount something on. Now, as I recall, we had a couple of drones that we had saved from many games
Well,
ago.
just such an occasion.
So we have one that effectively is a submachine gun, as I recall, and the other one was some kind of elemental gun. I think it might have just been lightning or something like that. I'll have to go back and look, or we can just make it up.
What constitutes a difficult logic check?
It just means a +2. Yeah.
+2.
Yeah.
Okay, so lightning is lightning the definite element, which is gonna mess up vampires more because bullets are gonna be kind of pointless.
Yeah. Let's say lightning.
Okay. I rolled a marvelous 13. So 1 marvel 4, 13 is the roll.
Marvelous.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that is a no as well.
Well, that sucks. But it sucks marvelously.
It does marvelously suck. How about this? Since you did get a marvel, let's say tomorrow we'll take it from a difficult, which is a +2, to a challenging roll, which is a straight logic roll. So if you want to make a note, if you want to attempt this same thing tomorrow, it'll be 2 points easier since you got that marvel.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So what was the target number then?
So it's based
Apparently
on
not
rank.
13.
So it's rank. So we're rank 3. And so that would be a 15. A difficult check at rank 3 is a 15. A challenge, and this is just a chart that's in the core rule book. A challenging would be a 13, and basically kind of like the default roll is the difficult. Something that's
So
something
it's
like
10,
this.
It's 10 plus your rank plus any difficulty.
Plus the modifier. And if you
okay,
there's a whole chart. I'll throw it up on the screen right here so everyone can see it. There you go. Look at that. Editing magic for y'all.
What is it up there?
Oh yeah. Oh, you missed it? Oh God.
You need to pay attention, Fish.
I'm slow, man. I can't see as well as I used to.
All right. So anything you guys want to do before we head out?
Nope. I just want to check in and make sure Zelma's ready to go. And
yeah. And so since she is your henchman, I mean, we'll have her under your control. She'll certainly have a lot of skills and whatnot related to research, as Dr. Voodoo said. And we can give her some opportunities to poke around the library for you.
Yep. I mean, we're still fleshing out her character sheet, but I can tell you off the bat, all of her skills right now are in ego and logic. All of her ability points. So
right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Great.
Yes.
So
what's
actually happening with Brother Voodoo's brother and the wolves?
So
disappeared, and we just kind of like figure he's got them both on a leash or what?
Yeah. So Dr. Voodoo last game had to leave in a hurry. Something about the children at the Strange Academy. He had to leave. He told Zelma to stay here. He asked Daniel if he had these wolves under control, and Daniel just kind of stoically said yes. We don't think this is something he can do forever, but for at least the time being, he's got that under control until we can figure out a way to either permanently pull the demonic half of one wolf of this wolf that was sort of merged at the torso. Pull the bad part out, or figure out a way to get it under control.
So it's not like they're wrestling over in the corner in any way we can see. It's just like we take it on his thumbs up that he's still got things under control.
Right.
So I just, I get all my guns reloaded and ready. I assume there's going to be vampires, so I've got silver ammunition on me.
Okay. All right. So we head out. So you head out in the truck. So the whole area of Back Bay is fairly well, fairly well, the area that you're in now is in central Boston is pretty well patrolled. So the humans have taken over here. There are police. I think I mentioned there's these. They've got these fire engines that have been blessed by priests and are filled with holy water and manned by cops. So you've got this union of the church and the fire department and the cops all working together to kind of keep these vampires at bay. And this area over here, pretty close to central Boston, is where the library is. So not too far away. So how about any particular tactics you want to take? So if this is the library over here, is there a place you want to park the car? Do you want to get real close? Do you want to walk in? What's your general plan here?
I kind of want to know what intel we have about the area before we go into the area. Like what's the nature of the vampire presence? Like do we know that they're specifically congregated around the Boston Public Library? What other things have we seen?
So unfortunately the only thing that you know is that there were reports of vampires in this area. Unfortunately, not a lot of good intel. If you want, you could try and scout out ahead if you can think of a way to do that.
Does anybody? No.
Well, right. I was trying to remember. I guess the spy headquarters really just gives an advantage for the headquarters itself, right? It doesn't give any advantage for researching things outside of the headquarters.
Right. That's right.
Okay.
Although, do we have any spy equipment that we could utilize that might be useful for like setting up surveillance moving forward? Like, would we have the ability to like set up cameras in places, like bring cameras with us that we could then set up in places, and then when we got back, we could have visuals on certain areas?
So we take the gun off the drone and make it a camera instead. Right?
Or we could just bring like small surveillance cameras that we could put in like clandestine spots, maybe.
Here's a stupid question. Do Marvel vampires show up on video cameras?
Well, that we said they definitely do not, as Spitfire found out the hard way.
Right, yeah.
That's true. But like if the vampire picked up a trash can, you would see a floating trash can.
That's true.
So
we would be clued in on vampire janitors.
What if they wore the trash can?
You could use it. You might not be able to use it to necessarily see vampires specifically, but anything else, like vampires are basically the only thing that doesn't show up. Like unless or someone who's invisible, right? Like so you could see any other normal people running around. You could see what kind of activities going on there. You could see like garage doors opening and closing depending on where you're at, that sort of stuff. Like
I think we'll say that fair enough that when MI13 shipped a bunch of stuff over, they didn't precisely know how many cameras they might need, so maybe they had a couple of extra ones. So we'll say you got 2 extra cameras that you can place somewhere. Limited duration on it, just because they got some little battery pack, whatever. So they won't last forever, but you'd be able to view them remotely from your headquarters. Why not?
Okay.
Okay, so the main entrance on this map is on Boylston?
There's a couple.
Or is it-
There's one over here and
Oh,
one
there.
over there. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so there's a park right across from. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Copley
But
Square. Yeah.
that's a good location to
Copley Square.
start out, I
Good
guess.
idea.
Oh, very pretty.
Oh, we can even see the outside of the public library in that picture. Nice.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, it's very picturesque.
That'll be prettier.
Oh, and it has a courtyard.
Yeah, there is a courtyard in there.
Nice.
I want to go.
I've
In real
are.
life now.
been there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I am pulling a little bit from my past on this. I've been there in a while, but
I'm gonna go text my friends in Boston.
but if you wanted to, you
But
could
yeah, I
kind
think
of park
starting out
in this
yeah, like-
area, and you'd have a little cover there. You got some trees there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so let's say you can easily get, you can head down Boylston, make your way, just drive right up in this, let's say park somewhere up over here. There's a lot of abandoned cars here. A couple of them looked like they might have been on fire a few days ago and have they're just burnt out husks. Yeah, and you can easily make your way there. In fact, let's say
Well, before we actually leave, Connor is going to want to talk to Cullen and find out like what sort of weaponry and armaments he's got that Connor can borrow or use.
What don't I have?
That's really the question.
I am in
Obviously,
and rich. So no, I
you
mean,
have
unless
N16s,
Fuzzy says otherwise,
silver
I
bullets.
imagine that I have most standard things, unless it's like I don't believe I would have anything military grade per se. Although I might if it was something very specific.
yeah, I would easily say pistol, shotgun, rifle,
Yeah.
easy.
Yes.
Silver bullets.
We do have silver bullets
Yeah.
on hand. Yes.
Do we have enough? Do we have enough that we have to like keep track and recover them, or do we have enough that like I can have effectively?
I
like,
believe Fuzzy makes you roll a dice.
Yeah, I think you should be tracking them, and I think if I recall, we said if the Rose Pastor hit his famous trait as part of the headquarters, he's got a little recording studio now where he can do some reach more people with his message, and get some donations coming in. I think we said that would give the temporary rich tag, which would mean you'd have all the silver you could buy for as long as that.
I already
lasted.
have the rich tag, right?
I don't think I did know that.
Yes, because I'm a bloodstone, and
and silver is not crazy expensive.
Yeah.
yes, I yes, that is in the character sheet. I have the rich tag.
Okay. Then yeah, let's still keep it a little bit at a premium.
The last time I checked, I had 16, and I had used 6, so I currently have 10.
Yeah, I was trying to check how many I had. Did
I
any?
have 10. I have 10 since the last.
All right,
battle.
maybe we could
Maybe
say
I-
when
maybe I only
Elsa
have the
visited,
silver
she on her way, she collected. She's probably got little storehouses all over the place, like a little redheaded squirrel. She's got little
little safe houses.
safe houses full of nuts and silver bullets.
Yes.
So let's say, let me roll real quick. 7 silver bullets for you, Vann.
All right. And let's talk about bladed weapons. Are there any silver bladed weapons? Sword, machete, large knives. Or should I be sharpening?
Someone give
Yeah.
this man Someone give this man a silver a silver claymore.
That might be a little over the top, but again, I'd say with
I don't have
Elsa,
teeth or claws anymore, so like I've got to have something.
with Elsa in having just come to town, why not? How about a silver dagger?
Yes.
Okay.
Silver daggers.
All right, so this is where you find yourself. You know, you're all outfitted here. Maybe you're behind one of these trees over here. There you go. And you're looking at the Boston Library right there. From the outside, you don't really notice much of anything, at least from this distance. This, by the way, is another old church, but it's at least of note that you've got holy ground right directly across the street from the library.
There's no activity actually happening outside of the library right now.
Right, and remember, it's dark, but the full moon is out. So
So it's still out. It wasn't
still
just
out, still
It's still out.
full, right
Okay.
there, out.
Mm.
It is a normal sized moon, and we'll say Vann, at this point, you now perceive it as a normal sized moon. Although when you first saw it, it looked like 5 to 10 times the size of the regular moon.
Well, we're gonna have to go in at some point. I want the spy to share their spy expertise and figure out the best place to plant some surveillance equipment so that we can like keep an eye on this place. And then we want to, and I would imagine maybe we need to try and scout the area out a bit more.
Right. So do you want to give the exterior of the once over?
Yeah, I guess I may as well just do a quick run around then.
Okay, great.
And
Yeah.
Everybody back in the trees at the park.
Yep. So you can zoom around, and a couple of seconds later, you're back, and you can say that you did not see any evidence of any vampire activity from the outside. So that tells
Okay.
you the setting up in the church tower would be of limited value because there's nothing you could see. Even as high as it is, you couldn't really see into
Building.
the courtyard.
And
You
is
just don't have
anybody
that.
going in and out?
Well, you've only been here for a while, but you didn't see anyone, and you didn't see anyone go in and out as you went around.
Are there any good places where you could set up surveillance?
You want to give me a vigilance check and give me the parameters of what you consider good surveillance to be? Surveillance of the front door of these doors.
I don't know. I'm not a super spy.
So these are the doors to get in. You've got 3 sets of double doors there. You could set cameras up pretty much anywhere you wanted to, from across the street. You could put it on a lamppost, put it on one of these little cement barrier things here. Put it in a tree.
Colin, you said you could potentially scale that tower, right?
I could probably scale the tower. Yeah.
So does that mean you can get surveillance cameras up on the roof?
I could probably get surveillance cameras up on a roof.
Because there's also a courtyard. I'm thinking a camera that could survey the courtyard could be good too.
Hmm.
The angle isn't quite
Yeah, no,
that
right.
that good.
No, I wasn't thinking he'd scale the tower and put a camera up there. I was thinking if he could scale the tower, then that means he could probably scale the library itself, get on the roof of the library and put a camera.
Yeah, I mean it looks like it's possible, right? It looks like you got little things you can hang on here, all sorts of little nooks and crannies and things. Might have some problem once you get to the top because it looks like you kind of have to go out and then in again. So I'd say if you wanted to,
Or not.
yeah.
There are plenty of handholds on the left side of the building. Because they're like that I could use. There's a garage over there too, actually. Um, and so I could almost certainly uh scale. I mean, like some of it's a little sheer, but but I don't have like a super jump power per se, but I am considered one size larger for most of those physical purposes. So I could probably jump up to some of those things. So it would be so if you go down the street there, yep, go down that side street there. Keep going. Right there. See it's
Okay.
not yeah. So the one with the other windows. That one.
Oh, these over here?
Yeah, I could probably scale that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So
So the way, yeah. So the way that one. What is this here? Okay. So let's see. So that's that's right over here.
yeah,
That's right over here.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
yeah. And I could probably get up to that little flat white spot over there, and then I could and then as long as I keep my balance and don't fall, I could probably set up a camera right over on this corner here, and I could see down into the courtyard.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to make your way over there to do that,
Sure. All right. Now
let's
say check.
Yeah. Let's say that'd be a melee check, but you've got enhanced physique, right?
Yes.
So I'll give you an edge on that roll. And I think we'll just call it a 15, right? So it's the difficult. Actually, make it a 14.
Okay.
Target number 14 melee check.
And I got a 13.
Okay. Before the edge?
Before the edge, yes.
Okay.
No, I re-roll the lowest number on this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Re-roll. 17.
Awesome. Okay, great.
All
So
right.
yeah, you can make your way up to the top over here.
Yep. And then I'm gonna go up to the right there. Oh,
Okay.
and I'll see if I can get. I noticed that is there a door there? I can't tell. There's like gray thing there. It looks like there might be an
More
entrance.
like a
Yeah, it
window.
looks like maybe some venting or something
Dormer.
like that.
There's stairs. Those are stairs, dude.
These?
I
No,
will.
look, right.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's stairs right
You have to
there.
say it does look like there's some stairs.
Annotate. There are stairs right here.
Are they though?
Those are
yeah,
stairs.
maybe,
They're
yeah.
metal
You know
stairs,
what?
man.
Yeah, you might
It
be
might
right.
be
And I'll say there's air conditioning units on the roof right there, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
completely
it's
reasonable.
it's
that
a
would be
it's a maintenance entrance.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go in by myself. I'm not insane. I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever it is, we'll say it's locked. And it looks like maybe it's not gonna, it's a maybe there's some electronics in there to help with the air conditioning unit, something like that.
Gotcha.
But why don't you give me a vigilance check while you are up here, and go ahead and give an edge for your heightened senses.
Okay. And it's a marvelous 16.
Oh, okay, very nice.
Hmm.
All right. I will give you 2 pieces of information then with that most excellent roll. One, you hear some murmurings, humans talking, kind of in somewhat hushed voices, not whispering, but trying not to be
Talking quiet.
too loud. It's a murmur though. You can't make out anything in particular. And perhaps as you hear a slightly louder sound of some type of mechanical sound, a little bit something that might resemble like a gyroscope of some kind, like a whirring mechanical sound. But the whirring sound might be accompanied by some sort of engine sound as well. But you don't necessarily hear either like wheels on the ground or heavy metal boots on the ground making big stomping noises. It's you don't hear any of those. So your first thought might be it's like, oh crap, that sounds like Iron Man or something like that. But you don't hear any of like the sounds of boots on the earth.
Okay. I think at this point we have figured out that we need to have earpieces and that sorts of stuff. And since we do have a spy, I'm sure we have some kind of like communication devices.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say that was provided. Sure.
So I relay said information to the rest of the team, and politely ask that Vann, that Connor, keep a close eye on Zelma, so that and make sure she stays out of harm's way while we're as things are getting ready to unfold.
Is she with us or is she in the truck
Yes.
still?
She's with us, keeping
Okay.
very quiet and doing everything that she's told.
But everybody except for Cullen is still in the park, right?
Yes, and I do set up the camera though, so we can at least get some kind of a visual down into that area. So but I'm kind of like at this point, like, what do you want me to do? I basically just post it up, right? And I can shoot people from this angle, I guess.
Yeah, so are you able to actually see into the courtyard yourself?
Can I see down into the courtyard, Fuzzy?
I would say you could easily climb up this roof over here, get to the top, and then peek down. However, you doing so would certainly give you a view in there, but at least a chance for the people that are in there, at least a chance for them to see you. If you're
Sure.
If you're sneaky about it, we can have some rolls and you probably have the benefit, but there's still the chance if they roll better than you.
Well, I tell her I just say, it's actually fairly steep once you peek over the ledge. So so I can't see too well, but I can hear them. I know that there are people down there. So and there's there's machinery here. Why would there be machinery in a library?
What type of machinery is it?
It's big. It's some big thing that has like a and a kind of sound to it.
The engineer in me fucking hates you.
Like, come on, man. It's going to sound. I don't know what that means. Like, what is that doing? What's wrong with my car? So yeah, I set up so that I don't really have a good way of getting a vantage point like from here. I think the best thing I could do would be to like skillfully like get across to that. I don't know. Even then, no, never mind. Like, I don't know. You know what? There's windows over there. I can look down into the windows. I want to get over to the I want to make my way over to right. I want to make my way over there, over to where these windows are.
Oh yeah, there's like a flat roof area with
these over here.
those.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That might be a good place to put a camera.
this
Yes.
is a good hole. Okay, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
Yeah.
in there.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
But yeah, you could go through these doors in the front over here. It looks like pretty safely.
I think it's so I relay, just be aware of your surroundings, but you could probably get in through the front door.
All right then. Tactical penetration.
All right.
Thank you, Connor.
Fish, do you want to have Cullen meet everyone, or do you want to try and figure out a way that you can kind of slide? I'll let you like kind of slide in. To meet them.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide in through the window, I think.
Sure. Yeah. So you Tom Cruise yourself right down. You lower yourself down.
I just finished watching the Mission Impossible movies.
Nice. All right. Then you guys can make your way in. And what we'll do is we'll go to ye old Owlbear Rodeo. And we're going to put you guys so you can see the size of this. The tokens are tiny. So we'll have you up over here somewhere.
Yeah, like would you say that this gray box here is like roughly the window?
Sure. Yeah.
There's
We'll say
there's like
over
3
there.
windows. Yeah.
All right. Why not? And you guys can all make your way into the lobby. And you get to the lobby and there is there are some pamphlets you might have there. There's a directory of kind of what's available in all of these various rooms, and basically anything that you can find on the internet about what's in the Boston Library is open for you to explore for any of these particular rooms.
Okay, well, first I'm going to pose in front of one of those beautiful Sargent paintings and ask Alder to take my picture.
Alder
Make
would
sure
be
you
the
get my
go-to.
good side.
Right. All right, so let's talk with these 4 over here now. We'll leave Cohen up there.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're in this lobby area. There are these stairs that go up. These stairs go up around. It looks like the entrance to the courtyard is over here, and there's some additional. Looks like this, I guess, is an elevator. So if you wanted to make a beeline for the courtyard, this would be your way. This would be your way over here.
No immediate lights, sounds, movement that we can tell from where we are right now.
Nah, it's a pretty long distance, and these walls are all pretty thick. So I'm going to say you wouldn't hear anything from the courtyard area.
No, I'm saying from anywhere. Like, we're not hearing footsteps in the, against the marble.
Nope.
Coming from
Nope. I'd say, yeah, this floor,
alarms,
this area is
lights flashing, or
yeah, I would say the only sound came from deeper within, from the courtyard.
I'd say we should connect back up with Colin.
Okay. All right. So you guys can move on in, and you can head up towards this area, and you can meet up with Cullen. You even have like literally this map in a pamphlet. So the actual map that we're looking at comes from a pamphlet. So you're looking at this. So that through these doors over here, that's one way to get in.
So, and I just say, the sounds I heard were over this way.
Like out in the courtyard?
Yeah. So, I think it's hilarious that you have Wolf Connor, even though Wolf Connor.
Yeah, I could. I think I don't think I have the other one on hand.
Yeah. So out this door over here, and I point in the direction of the.
I was gonna say you had a tile for him.
Yeah, I was on the other computer though.
So
Here, you could be a henchman.
So I think we should go and check it out. I just remind them, tell them exactly where I heard those sounds coming from. I mean, at this point, those sounds are loud enough they could probably hear them from in here, right?
Yeah, give me. I mean, there's a door here that's shut, but give me a. Yeah, I mean, anyone can give me a vigilance check in here. Target number, what did I say, 14?
Yep. I mean, I don't need to, right? For this one.
Yeah, because you already got a fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got a 16 on vigilance.
Nice.
Ooh, I actually hit a Marvel 14, 3 Marvel 4.
Cool.
I have a
Oh,
question.
so now I can possibly tell what this mechanical sound is rather than just like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Oh yeah, yeah. With your yeah. So and especially since you worked in like a motor pool or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not,
So I would
I'm not an engineer when it comes to like electronics and things like that, but mechanical.
yeah. All right. Cool. So we'll say, it doesn't sound like a tank. It doesn't sound like any kind of treaded vehicle. It doesn't sound like any type of like either an APC or any other kind of military grade wheeled vehicle. It doesn't sound like that kind of engine at all.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like a diesel or a gasoline engine. It's an
Yeah,
electrical motor.
we'll say once you had a chance to see a hovercraft in action, and this is the closest. That's like the closest thing you can think of. Maybe like those drones, but like those drones would be tiny compared to like the kind of sound that you hear. You do even feel like
So this is a large, high-speed electrical fan rotor or something like that. Like a
something like that. Yeah, closer to that than like than a gasoline engine or it's not a rumbling sound of a vehicle kind of rolling over. Like, if there was a tank moving around in there, you could probably feel it if you really felt for it.
Well, does it sound like something is actually driving and moving around?
It sounds like something is like that whirring sound. Again, you don't hear any evidence of it moving on the ground, but it does maybe sound like it kind of comes in and comes out, or it fades in and out every once in a while, like maybe it moved behind something or it stopped and then started up again.
Okay, so it's not, yeah, it's some sort of aerial drone reconnaissance
Yeah, that's your
automation.
best your best get. Your best guess. Although there's still something you can't quite place about it.
And Cullen, you didn't see anything actually moving. You just heard the noise.
Correct.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since we're searching, we have a sense that there might be danger. This is the first time Alder has had concentrate powers.
Mhm.
Can I just kind of turn those on if I have enough ranks to support those concentrate powers?
Absolutely. So if you wanted to enter, if before combat you wanted to enter a stance, you could just say, "Yeah, I'm going to enter attack stance or defense stance or both."
Or both.
Just take enough time, take a few seconds, 10 seconds, whatever, to like focus yourself. And if you have that time, absolutely.
Okay. That's what, as we hear this noise get louder, that's what Alder will do.
Okay. Anyone else want to take any precautions? All right. Who wants to approach the door first, if that is what you want to do?
I'm done opening doors first.
My entire job is shooting people from a distance.
No, Jen, we might
Fine.
have to.
I have a history, whether a wolf or not, of being the idiot to like go through. So sure.
All right.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I'll start recording.
Cameras out. So something like that. Okay.
Make sure you get the beautiful panorama of this lovely area.
We are going to mess this building up.
All right. You open the door to the courtyard.
Yes.
And you can indeed see a number of things in here. The first thing you notice most dominantly is something that looks like this and is about that big.
Is that the whirring sound?
That's the whirring sound. So yeah,
And
Oh,
light
this
up
is what
eyes.
this is what it looks like. So this is it doesn't, you don't have the full body here, and you can see by the two claws and the little bit of a Wolverine mask over here what comic I got this one from. These robotic creatures that are skulls with these tentacles coming out of them, and they're sort of half levitating and half resting on these tentacles. There are 8 tentacles kind of holding this skull up in the air, and these giant eyes that are on these like held in place by these little claw like things, orient themselves on your direction, and then it looks like it's getting ready to move and intercept you, and there are
14 of them.
only 3. But we'll say one's over here, and even though you maybe can't see it, you can at least hear it. And in addition to that, there are a couple of humans on the ground, one over there and one up here. And these humans are very clearly dressed in the colors of Hydra. They are masked, so you can't see, but they are humanoid looking.
They're over there. Are they standing? Are they lying down? Are they moving?
These are standing. These are patrolling, and these are standing and probably let's say meandering a little bit, and we'll say does anyone speak German?
A little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would figure Spitfire definitely would.
Yeah.
So Spitfire, you hear them, say something like, don't let them past. Kill them.
Oh, fuck.
Mach schnell.
So we are clearly seen.
Clearly seen. Let's roll initiative.
And do I see them through the camera?
You can see the big robot-y things, yes, but you can't see the one Hydra agent that you have line of sight to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So initiative.
Okay. I got a 12.
I got a 14.
I got a 17.
I got a 16.
I don't have no marvels yet.
Oh,
Well, that's gonna change.
okay. So there is a Marvel.
You had to fucking say
I
it.
had to say it.
Thanks.
Ooh, a marvelous 19.
Oh
Ooh.
my god.
My.
And I got one more of these guys to roll. So so this one human looking, well, he's a vampire because he's not showing up. Gets to go twice before anyone else goes because he got the only Marvel and he goes on 19.
Cool.
All
Cool.
right. He is going to move up over here. And he is going to use weapons blazing. But he is going to use his reaction and use combat trickery, getting a Marvel on the die. So let's roll an attack.
Against whom?
He's going to do the 2 up front, right? So weapons blazing, I'll read and I'll put it up on the screen here. The character splits their attack to make 2 ranged attacks against separate targets, or they can focus, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to do 2 against the first 2 that he can see, which is Spitfire and Connor. Not a great roll.
Darn.
Only a 13, even with turning it's a 13 agility. What's Connor, what's your agility, and what's
My agility is 15.
okay.
Well, my agility defense is 12, but he should have trouble on it because I have slow motion dodge.
Okay. If I recall,
How is your agility defense only 12 with your
because
crazy
she's a
speed?
melee.
Because yeah, I put everything into
She
melee.
she doesn't do much range attacking.
I mean, it sounds odd because you would think that super speed would give me better agility, but because of the mechanics of the game, it doesn't work that way.
All right. So let me just check
It is
something
a flaw, in
here.
my opinion.
You can be klutzy very quickly.
Okay,
Exactly.
so using combat trickery, that cannot be affected. Trouble does not affect that die. So he will use one of the other, and he rolled a 2 Marvel 2. So I think no matter what he re-rolls, he'll still hit at 12, but I'll re-roll nonetheless. And he rolled another 2. So yeah, he's still, even with the trouble, got a 13. And that's going to be 21 points of health damage. The second thing he's going to do is he is going to use a power called Battle Plan. It will take 10 focus. What happens is he gets to grant up to 3 in his case because it's his vigilance, basically giving them all inspiration. So they all get an edge on all action checks until the start of his next turn. So for this entire first round, and he's going to give it to each of these 3 Hydra tentacle robots. And by the way, I've decided to call them Tentakills, Kill.
Tentakills.
Tentakills.
Bump.
I was quite proud of that. Let me know if in the comments if you're proud of me too. All right. That was all right. So we're in round 1 now. First guy went twice. We go to Roast Pastor on 17.
This person just sinned in front of me.
He did.
Shooting my friends.
He's a dirty Nazi too.
Oh yeah, that also probably means they're evil. Probably means they have things to repent for. So I'm going to do the classic combat trickery, touche, or touche. That's not the what? Yeah, just back at him.
Yeah, I'm rubber, you're glue.
Yeah, I'm rubber glue, and then pen and stare.
Okay.
So let me roll that. Oh well, I didn't even need the combat trigger because I naturally rolled 2 Marvel 6, so 20.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, that hits.
Yeah. So that's 48 mental damage, and of course with pen and stare, they are paralyzed for 1 round. Unless they have the heroic tag.
Does not. Curiously enough, the Hydra officer does not have.
Curiously, not a hero
tag.
I use combat trickery, but they do have to be my rank or higher, and
he is rank 3.
Okay.
Yep. Good call though. Okay. Cullen on 16.
Yep. I'm gonna shoot that same dude in the head.
There's the paralyzed guy.
Yeah.
His defense is just 10.
I can do stopping power.
All right. So 5 focus. And do you want to stay where you are? I'll probably say if you're shooting through three people, I'll give you trouble. Now you only have to hit a target number of 10. So that probably won't matter, but.
Right. But I'm gonna move slightly. I'm gonna move ahead of Rose Pastor. Right there.
Right there? Okay. Cool. No trouble then.
Okay. So I hit a 20.
That'll do it.
And it is
he does are you using silver or regular?
silver.
Okay.
So we determined that he was clearly a vampire.
Yes, definitely a vampire.
Yes. So I am using silver. So no so there's no damage. He doesn't no damage reduction. And he takes 42 damage.
Nice. 42 health. So he's taken 42 health and he's down 63 focus, including what he spent. Yeah, so he's just standing there, just kind of like thinking about all the naughty things he's done, all of the books he's recently touched without putting gloves on. The horror. And yeah, he just stands there and poof, his chest just explodes. Probably would have killed a regular human, but he doesn't really rely on his lungs anymore, so it doesn't matter that he's missing one. He does just stand there still in this almost fugue state. All right, so that was your full movement and your standard action. So, this guy gets to go. What fun. He is going to just move in front of his little buddy here. He'll stay close.
Can you describe how it moves?
Yeah. So it is hovering, and its tentacles are kind of like almost like roots kind of falling down beneath it, and the tentacles are touching the ground, but not really fully supporting the full weight. It's more about
Touching
moving
grass.
and guiding rather than think of it like a balloon hovering there, and the tentacles are just to move it in the right direction, but not to keep it aloft. So it is
it's
moving.
a hovercraft.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Like sort of a floating jellyfish, or like a
it's
imperial probe
kind of like a very much of a Man of War kind of vibe going on with this. The jaw isn't really moving, but as it comes close, its eyes very mechanically moving with very stilted movement, and orients on the two closest. Why would it not try to bang your heads together?
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Well, gee, I'm glad that Cullen and the Rose Pastor like pushed it aside.
Yeah. So yeah, two of the tentacles kind of come out and try to smash the two of you together. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so I rolled a 6 Marvel 4, and I have 2 edges, one from inspiration and one from extra appendages. Yes, Rose Pastor.
Is this a close attack?
This is a close attack.
Okay. They have double trouble against me.
So double trouble. So that would cancel out his roll against you is going to be a 22, 6 Marvel 4. So he doesn't get to use his 2 edges against you. Those cancel out. But I don't think Cullen, and that's based on your defensive stance.
That's right. Defense stance and unflappable poise.
Right. So Cullen, you don't have anything of that nature, do you?
Don't think I have anything of that nature. I have sturdy.
Okay, that'll come in handy. But let's get a couple of rerolls here because we could have a 616. Okay, first one was another 4. Second one, a 3. So 36 points of damage for Rose Pastor, 24 points of damage for Fish.
Bill, this being the first time that Alder has used his new martial arts powers in battle, and having learned them from Spitfire, he looks back at her and is like, "What the heck? That didn't work."
And Spitfire is like, "This is what happens when you go through doors. This is didn't I tell you this? I thought I was
didn't go through the door.
How dangerous doors are in the world."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
That's why usually the big beast goes through them first.
Yeah. Okay, now the other one's gonna go.
Oh, good.
This one down here. And his movement, yep, based on his size, his movement is triple digits. So I'm just not gonna count if that's okay with you guys. He'll move up over here And we'll have him do a little something.
Can we just back out through the door and close the door?
You probably could. He is going to attempt to grab Cullen. He gets 2 edges thanks to that officer. All right, he hits a 19 on your melee. You can use a reaction to immediately escape the grab before he crushes you.
Sure. Okay. What do I have to do? What do I need to roll for this?
Okay. So the escape reaction is character has been grabbed, pinned, or paralyzed by something physical. You attempt to escape just like you would with the regular escape action. So regular escape action. It's against the melee defense of the guy attacking you. Actually, because of his size, his melee defense is not as good as you would think it would be. It's only a 14.
Okay.
Because it's a few points lower than it normally would be. A couple points lower.
So
all you got to do is use a reaction to make a melee roll.
Okay.
And if you hit a 14, you can escape the grab, and then he won't be able to do the crushing grip.
Okay. I got it.
You got
14.
it? Okay, great. So then the crushing, I'll give him the focus back. The crushing doesn't happen. He hits the initial grab on you, and then you're able to just burst your way out of it before he can tighten his tentacles around you.
Am I able to use my second reaction to grab Rose Pastor and get the fuck out of there?
That's not a thing. So no.
Okay.
Good idea though. I appreciate your gumption. Spitfire.
Escape
on 14.
I'm like pissed off at these guys, so I want to attack them.
Yeah.
In terms of my ability, could I actually get over to the Hydra guy past this big monstrosity?
Yeah, I'm thinking he might be big enough where you could zip through. I think I'll allow that because he's so big.
Tentacles.
It's almost like, kind of like a snow speeder through an at's legs.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would like to just take my silver dagger and run over there and attack the Hydra guy.
Yeah, I like that. I like just, you can, anyone that big, I'll say you can just like run through the middle.
But
You want to go on the other side of them, or you got enough movement?
Yeah. May as well go over there, and then
Yeah, because your run speed 15, so
I have an edge on all melee attacks.
oh, and yeah, it's an automatic, so use those edges to, make your roll because you can get a fantastic, but you don't have to worry about hitting. So any edges you get, put them right towards that marvel.
Oh, nice. I got a 17. Now I'm going to try to re-roll the marvel. That took it down to 15. So we'll use the 17.
Okay.
So that would give him 29 damage.
Nice. So he had 42. All right. He is still up, but he's not looking great. You might have a little more movement if you wanted to.
Yeah, I was just thinking I might want to.
I'll say you got about 5 left.
Just duck further away from him. So I guess heading down. Wait, would I want? No, there's another guy over on the other side.
Yeah, there's 2 guys down there that are going to be making their way up towards you.
Yeah, so I guess just
you would have enough to, if you wanted to get on the other side of him, you would have enough to get over there if you wanted to.
I guess that would help me be able to use my reactions to help teammates if I go back over closer to them.
Okay.
So that probably is a good one, a wise move. So go back over.
Okay, cool. Put you there. Zelma.
No, I'm not sure that that Zelma's going to actually try to engage in direct combat. You know what? I don't know.
This wall extends down over here, so if she were to be here, she wouldn't have line of sight to anyone, or vice versa.
Is Rose Pastor in bad shape?
I'm okay. I've got 54 out of 90 hit points. Health points.
Okay. No, I think she's going to do as she was told, and she's going to hang back.
Okay.
Because, yes, because she's just gonna make sure that no one's coming up from the flank or something like that.
Okay. Do you want to have her do anything like a help command to someone to give them a bonus on their next action?
Sure. She will inspire. She'll do the same. She'll do that for Rose Pastor.
Okay. And
Come on, get up.
this guy goes up over here.
Jeez, these freaking things. Like, what the?
He's gonna move over
the movement
there.
is here.
Not a great positioning. You actually do have at least one of them kind of cut off there. So what can he do?
Yeah, really. That's kind of what I was thinking of. Is if we pull back,
Yeah,
that's going to prevent how much they're going to be able to attack us.
exactly.
We've got,
Well,
Force the bottleneck.
and we have several other people who can like do ranged attacks, and we can kind of just like go to the door, snipe, and like step back. So we should be using this for cover.
Yeah. So he is going to use his climb speed to kind of hover in this direction, use the tentacles to kind of grip himself up on the wall, walk himself over,
Oh.
and then deposit himself down.
Oh my gosh.
Between like the abilities I gave him, he's got like stilt steps, for example, which doubles their run speed and climb speed on top of the size, which also like increases it. Yeah, his
That's
climb
the
speed.
plasticity power, right?
Yeah. His climb speed is triple digits. So yeah, they're incredibly mobile. Technically doesn't have a fly speed. So that's like the tentacles kind of, that's why he had to use the tentacles to kind of climb up. So even though he's levitating, technically he doesn't have a fly speed. Otherwise it would have been even crazier.
So my run speed is 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Over 100. Okay.
Well over 100. Yeah.
That's
Like my run
Spitfire?
speed is 6.
I can't do that in combat. Why can they?
Because they're designed by Fuzzy to be really annoying. Okay. Let's get an attack on Spitfire. Now this guy
Has attacked once.
This guy also has 2 edges. This will be the last round of them having 2 edges. Each one of them got to use it once. So let's try chain strikes on you. Since he's still got a couple tentacles, maybe he's still hanging on, he just kind of punches out with a couple of them. He hit a target number of 20 against your melee.
Okay, and my melee is 15.
Okay. So that is 31 points of damage. Luckily, he didn't get a Marvel to get an extra attack in there, but he does pummel you for 31 health points. All right. And finally, this guy down here gets to go. He's going to, and I don't know that anyone can really see this. Yeah, I'm gonna say you guys don't see this. So he just kind of disappears from the board.
Interesting.
And finally, that takes us to Connor.
So, do I have? I see at least 2 people and a big floating skull head between me and the Hydra vampire, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's no real way I can target him.
I mean, it's trouble. I mean, cover is cover, so it would just be 1 trouble on the die. His target number is 10, so it would be very, very difficult for you to miss him.
Okay, then yeah, I'm going to try and shoot him.
Okay.
And will be silver. And I've also got to stop my bleeding. So what do you want me to do first?
Well, stopping your bleeding is a standard action. So if you do that, then you can't. Yeah, that's why I thought maybe Zelma could do it, but
I didn't realize that he was bleeding. Otherwise, I would have done that.
okay, we could do that next round.
All right.
So you could shout out and go like, Zelma, like, get the
Heal.
super glue.
Help that one. He's bleeding.
I am so not used to not being a big furry beast. I bleed and all sorts of shit. Okay, I have to use guns. And I rolled exactly 10.
Okay, you have to apply trouble though.
Oh, okay, that takes it on the highest dice.
Yep.
And I rolled an 8, so fuck my life.
All right. Well, you can get a help teammate.
I don't
Yeah.
think Zelma's used her reaction.
Zelma hasn't. Yeah.
Okay. Then I rolled a 12. And
Okay.
it's a 3 marble 1.
Oh, excellent. So that was a good use of
So
trouble
thank you very
there.
much,
Actually,
Zelma. I
yeah.
appreciate Zelma.
I was gonna say maybe just for flavor, we can move her a little closer
to you, yes.
and have her like start patching you up a little bit, supporting you since she sees that you're bleeding pretty bad.
Okay. How old is Zelma?
8, 19, something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, early 20s,
Okay.
the oldest, I'd say, from what she looks like.
All right. Cool. My character appreciates her.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So silver bullet.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so cool. What's the damage on that? No target.
Damage is 40.
40 is enough to take him out.
Thank God.
Thank you.
Boom.
One time.
Woo! Yeah.
We just
He's
gotta
just-
find the invisible one.
He's just missed and a well, give me a you've got senses. Give me a vigilance check, Fish,
No,
for
no, I
for
don't.
Cullen.
Okay.
No, for Cullen.
Yeah.
Target
16.
number 14. Okay, yeah. You hear a door slam. So he's not invisible. He ran away and slammed the door.
Away.
Well, he could be invisible for all
He
we
could
know.
be invisible. Yes, you didn't hear his visibility. All right, top of the order, and I have a note that the
And
guy that is
Can
dead.
I
Yeah.
yell and make a suggestion that we should back the hell out of this so we're not fighting 3 of these things at once?
Yeah. Do you want to back? You want to use a movement to back up a little bit to give people?
Yeah, I would back up, and so we can just snipe at them through the door and have level cover.
Okay, cool. Is that good enough, or you want to go back further?
No, that's good. I mean, there is no advantage to us being in the middle of between 3 of these bastards.
Right. Okay, Roast Pastor, you are now the top of the order at 17, and Zelma helped you, so you get a bonus on this roll.
Yeah. So, my main attack is, of course, Penance Stare. I don't know if that will work on.
Yeah, these are just flat out robots. These aren't.
Yeah.
There aren't vampires inside or anything. You would know that. Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I think there's very little I can do offensively. And we seem to be running away. So
Not necessarily running away, just trying to back up so we're not
yeah,
like,
tactically
all 3 being hit
retreating.
and getting our heads bashed together.
Yeah. Which is fair enough. So I guess I will back up. And
You can inspire somebody or something, right? I thought-
right, but that won't use an edge. So I was going to I can use combat support to give someone basically combat trickery, an automatic 1 on a Marvel die for their next action check. I'll do that on Spitfire.
So Spitfire will have essentially combat trickery.
Wait, so I get,
Okay.
so combat trickery gives the automatic.
The automatic one that cannot be impacted by trouble. Okay. So, all right. So Colin, Rose Pastor, you moved and did your standard action. So that takes us to Colin on 16.
What is above them?
Nothing. Sky.
completely open air.
Darkness.
You just saw it from above, didn't you?
Right.
Yep, this is
The
the
same-
courtyard.
Courtyard.
Just trying to, yeah, but I'm trying to think of like,
Yeah, so this is so you guys are right in fighting in this area right
Yeah.
here.
yeah.
And that little blue thing is the pool. So you're nestled in over here.
Yeah. I'm gonna back out.
Okay. Do you want to shoot and back out, or
Which one is the closest one to me, and is it within 2 spaces?
yeah, this guy number 3 over here is within 2 spaces. And none of these guys have been
Attacked.
hit at all. Yeah, attacked at all. Right.
Right.
So I will do a double tap since it doesn't cost me focus.
Okay, cool.
I want to dodge. But also I get to heal 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Thank you.
So their agility defense is 14.
okay.
And they have damage reduction of only 1.
15.
15 hits.
It's a 16 damage.
16 damage after the -1. Okay. And that's on number 3.
Well, they can be hurt. And then I run.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3. You want to go around the corner, or you want to go?
Let me
over
go.
here?
Let me like get in. I want to be in front of Zelma to keep her safe.
Okay. Okay. Now we go to Tentakill number 1. Oh, why am I this way? So target number 24.
Answer that question in the comments, kids.
I rolled a 666. So
Oh my god.
not a 6 Marvel 6, just a number of the beast. Good old fashioned.
Okay, Satan.
I don't think my
Or
defense
after
is gonna
the-
be up to that.
All right, so that is just going to be a chain strike. That is going to be 36 points of damage on that 666.
Which is bad news because I had 35.
Oh no. So if you want, you could use a karma to
Yeah, I might-
re-roll the damage die, and that would potentially lower it.
Yeah, I think I do need that karma.
Okay,
Okay, so
let's see here.
wait, this is my karma is 3.
Yep, so you can knock it down to 2. So good news. You went from a 6 to a 2, which is as good as you could have done. So
Okay.
take 16 point. So it's still a 20 on the result.
Okay.
So it's still an easy hit, I think. But it's only 16 points of damage.
Okay.
And now it is the second one's turn, and then Spitfire goes. So this guy up here, he is going to move, climb up around the wall over here, deposit himself down over here, and try and squeeze his little tentacles in. I'm going to say he's going to have trouble on this attack. I'm going to say he's just going to go for a regular attack against Rose Pastor, because that's the closest one he can kind of see. But I will give him trouble, which will cancel out.
I have double trouble.
Oh, double trouble. Okay. So you have double trouble, and then I'm giving him triple trouble. So plus his edge, he's still got double trouble. Okay, cool. All right. This might be very bad tactics for him, not knowing how squirrely you are. All right. Well, that wasn't great because I rolled 3, 6, 4, and then on my rerolls, I rolled another 6 and a Marvel. So that is a 19 melee, and that is 36 points of damage, despite your double trouble.
All right, hold on. I'm going to also use my reaction
Okay.
and do counter-strike technique, dealing half of the attacker's regular damage back.
Okay, cool. So 18 points of damage on number 2. Cool. So he's been hit, and number 3's been hit.
Mhm.
And now it is Spitfire's turn.
I'm gonna hit somebody.
Yeah, so the only one that hasn't been damaged is this guy over here. So it might be, either of these.
Yeah, so I think I definitely want to attack one of the ones that has been damaged.
And you have an
So I
automatic
guess I'll-
marvel.
Right, so I'll go for number 2.
Okay.
And so I'm making a melee attack.
Mhm.
Do I get them? I have to do 1 for damage reduction?
Yes.
Okay. So I got a 19.
Before you, so do you want to? All right. So let's think here. So you've got an
Yeah.
automatic marvel. Before you roll that, what power
Right.
are you using? Because with
Oh,
the
yeah.
automatic marvel, think about like a leg sweep would knock him
Well,
prone and
These
stun
guys are too
him.
big to do banging heads, right?
There's nothing that says you couldn't. So if you moved over here, you could
Really?
absolutely, yeah,
Oh, I
You
would
could-
love to do that.
absolutely you could.
Okay, so number
Do it.
number 3, I'm gonna try to do banging heads.
Okay, yeah. And you've got mighty one, so you could just take their tentacles, as they go to attack, you kind of grab a couple of their tentacles and try and slam their bodies together.
Okay,
Why not?
yeah, I'm doing it then. All right, so that should, if I have a fantastic success, if the attack is a success against both foes, each enemy takes full damage.
Right.
Yeah, okay. And then on a fantastic success, each enemy is also knocked prone.
Awesome.
So, yeah, so I did the roll and I got 3, 5, 6 plus 5. So recalculating that as a marvel.
Actually, just keep the 5 because they have damage reduction of 1. So what's the damage that it spit out?
It automatically spit out 20.
Okay, so then that's what it would be because you don't double it. So yeah,
Okay.
so cool. 20 points of damage each,
20 to each.
and both are prone.
And knocked prone.
Nice.
There we go. And then I suppose I should also then like duck back through the door
Yeah, and you can put yourself anywhere you want.
and then do some like recovery because
Yeah.
I did lose a lot of hit points there. So I get to heal 3. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Zelma's next. So Zelma wants to do, we said Zelma's going to make the logic check. Okay, so target number 10 for Zelma.
Are you rolling, Zelma?
I can do that right now since I have it.
I got it right here.
Sure.
Logic check.
Oh,
So
I
logic
don't
check.
know.
for
I might have
Zelma?
rolled really well.
Then go ahead.
I rolled a 10 exactly, so I didn't roll really well, but it was high enough.
I got a 12.
Okay.
Sorry.
Actually, I didn't even add anything.
Somebody slapped band-aids on the right place. That's all I needed.
Yep, you are no longer bleeding. Do you want to have her move farther away?
Is the plan for us to just get out of this area?
I only had us pull back so that we could bottleneck these things and take them out one at a time rather than like having
Okay.
taken them out
So
from the middle of being attacked by 3 at once.
right. So Zelma's just gonna stay close to Connor so she can make sure his wounds stay bandaged up. And then watch out for anybody else who might be in trouble in the same way. So I think she's done for now.
So we get Tentakill number 3 goes now. He is prone. So he will use his movement to get up from the prone position. So this guy is no longer prone. What he is going to do is start smashing the wall in front of him
Awkward library.
with his tentacles. So that will be, it doesn't seem to be terribly effective. He did not roll well. I mean, well enough to hit, and you can certainly feel the walls shake and see all this beautiful art and architecture on the wall is crumbling and cracking, and he's destroying a beautiful building. Imagine that as the combat continues, he's still relentlessly pounding against it. He's only going to get one, roll per his turn, but you're going to hear him continuously pounding at this wall. From the inside, you can't. I mean, you can see like a lot of plaster falling down and whatnot, but you don't think there's an imminent threat of him actually breaking through. His tentacles just aren't, the right tool for the job here. So that's what he does, and we go. The other officer goes off screen, and Connor goes on 12.
Same deal. I'm going to take a pot. I want to take a shot at. I guess that's number 2, which is right through the door.
Okay.
Fucking and rolling like crap. It's an 8. Yay!
Well, he's prone.
And he's also a gargantuan through the door.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, if Connor can shoot through the door, I think it would hit. But I rolled an 8, so
it's harder to hit him when he's prone. Although that doesn't quite make sense in this case, because when he's prone, the part you want to shoot at is actually close to the ground. But still, you rolled an 8, so that's just a miss.
Rolled an 8.
That's just a miss. How did you roll an 8?
I clicked and it came up 3, 2, 1, so it's an 8. And it's agility. Yeah, because
Right.
guns are agility, and my agility score is 2.
Right. Okay. Do you want to move?
I mean, I'm not really in anybody's way, so
Okay. Rose Pastor.
Well, this being the top of the order, it's almost midnight.
Oh yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're like super close. So how do you guys want to do this? Like, do
I
you
think I was
think
the last one in that round, right?
I
Yeah.
would say pause where we are and continue combat next
Okay.
game.
Okay, cool. So let's pause there since it is midnight exactly. But here's your homework for next time. Assuming you can kill the Tentakills, you will at some point have an opportunity to do some research. You can take a look. You can just go online. You can find this. You can find any old map of the Boston Public Library, and tell me if anything on these rooms in question here that you might find of interest.
Where are rare books?
Yeah, well, just take a look. I'll tell you this. I leaned very heavily on the real world exhibitions that are in the Boston Library to add to the plot, and there's at least a couple of things in there that are of direct input to the plot. So, just think about things that you might want to you might think are of interest, and we'll see if those are plot worthy.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, very good. See you guys in 2 weeks.
You in 2 weeks.
Bye bye.